Hi guys, this is JP from Rocket Science, and I'm going to walk you through some tips on installing the gold thermal protection foil for our airbox cover. When you get the kit, you're going to get all these cutout pieces. This is the main top for the box. It goes like that. This is the back, and these are the two reinforcing gussets, and I'll show you those as we go along. The first thing I want to show you is the alignment, and then we'll get to fitment. But the key to alignment of this project, and I'm going to use one with no sticky on it so I can show you this. If you'll notice this front edge here, the first 3 1/4 inches of this horn is perfectly straight. And I've marked it with a dotted line, and then the tip I've marked with a white solid line. So if you take this straight edge here, this first 3 1/4 inches of a straight edge on your cover, and just cover up those dots, but no more, just cover up the dots so it's flush with this outside edge. So if you took something and put it up against that outside edge, I don't know if you can see that, there you go. If you put something up against that outside edge, you would be right up against there. That's where you want to be. That'll line you up north and south. Then this white line here, this tip, if you're looking straight down, and you just let that tip be exposed, then your entire project will be lined up correctly. The whole rest of the cover will line up properly. So line up this front, line up that tip. You want the white showing here, but the white not showing there. The other thing I want to tell you is this gutter right here that goes along those white lines, that needs to be sanded very carefully. And you also need to wipe everything down with acetone. The acetone is a key to this project because it actually changes the molecular surface of this polypropylene. So we're going to start now, and we'll take the piece that'll come just like in your kit, and we're going to want to expose the first 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches of the backing material, and then just fold it over, give it a little crease so it stays out of your way while you're doing this. And then line it up like I said. Just cover up those front row of dots looking straight down, and leave the white tip uncovered. Now you can see I've got that pretty good. You can see the white tip. I hope you can see that. But I've covered up the front edge there. Then tack that down a little bit so you get some security there. And then slowly remove the backing material. And as you get about halfway through, if you want to, come back to the front and just lightly pat that down. You don't want to put it too hard because you might want to move it a little bit, but you're in pretty good shape by this time. So there's our first step. Now we have this aligned north and south, east and west, all the way through. So the next step is the fitment steps. And by fitment I mean, how do we get this flat square surface to go around corners and angles? Well, the answer is relief cuts. And for this project, relief cuts are very simple because what you'll be doing is at every angle you'll just be splitting the angle in half. So for example, this large corner right here, hope you can see that outline okay. Maybe I'll move it up there a little bit. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. So you can see this angle we've got to go around. So splitting the difference of that angle is right there. And we'll just cut straight up there. There's actually a little notch here that'll help guide you up there. And we'll cut right straight to what's called the vertex, or the conjunction of those two lines, right up near the top. And then if you'll notice, we also had 2 other little corners coming around here. There's one there and one there. So we'll do the same there. We'll just split the difference again. You see this line coming here and that there, so we're splitting it, the difference, and then this line continues here and goes up there, so we'll split that difference right up near the top, but don't get all the way over the top. And then we want to just lay these down like shingles. So this will be the first one we lay down. Then we'll lay this one over it, just as if we were laying shingles on a house. And I've given you a couple of little sticks, popsicle sticks in your kit. They'll help you get these down into the tight spaces. There's a thick one and a thin one. That's the thick one. So here's the thin one that'll help you get that down in there. And there you go. Now, I'll be doing this a little faster than I should. I could take this little wrinkle out, but I want to move forward fast, so I'm not going to bother with it. But you can take your time, get that done. So now we're moving to that gutter that I told you about. And there's not much place for the material to adhere to. So you want to get it all the way to the bottom of the gutter. And the best way to do that is to start towards the outside, towards you, and just push down real hard. There you go. And that'll pop right in there, and you can smooth it with your little popsicle stick. And then go up against the horn surface away from you and get that pushed down real nice and tight, because there isn't a lot of room for adhesion in there. And you will, if you have just a little extra left over, you can come back in there and trim that. Now, the next corner is a little bit of an oblique one. It follows a weird contour on the box. So it's a little tricky, but once again, you've got it coming in this way and this way, so just split the difference on those two angles. There you go. And then we'll lay this one down. First we want to get this in there nice. There we go. Okay, I'll lift this up so you can see this. Roll that over. And like I said, you'll be taking your time, so you'll be able to move these wrinkles out a little more. But if I do that, this video will be an hour long. So we'll just show you the techniques and let you take over from there. Okay, and then we're going to use our little popsicle stick or tongue depressor. This is a really tight spot in here. We'll work that down in there. And then, well, this one's trying to be a little bit of a troublemaker. We'll get him down in there. Just work it down into that gutter. And I'm not going to play with that right now for time's sake. But you can take your time on that. And what's actually causing this to jam up a little bit is towards each corner, near the attachment point, you'll have these ridges. And I'll show you in a later installment of how to take care of those ridges. And then I can't believe I'm not getting that down in there the first time. That should just go right down in there. And I shouldn't probably be wasting. There it goes. Wasting a lot of time doing that because I don't want this to be going with the wind. Okay, good. So we've got those techniques down, the alignment and the fitment. And then you want to roll this contour out and then just bring this down and take your time, unlike I'm doing, to get those wrinkles out. Bring that down. And then if you just pinch this right up near the top, you'll be able to get it really smooth. But I'm, as I said, moving kind of quickly here. And then take your stick and get her on down in there. There you go. All right, there's another vital thing that you need to know, and that's the gusseting. When we did this cut, we left a large space there that's uncovered. And you've got a cut near the top here that'd be nice to reinforce. So what we're going to do is, in your kit, it'll come like this. But for this large gusset, cut it out like I've shown here. And the important part is you don't have to cut anything special except for this right here. You want to cut that angle out. So, because that'll be what you're using to align this with. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bend this from the center of this top head here to the center of that angle right down there. We're just going to bend that right down like that. And then we're going to take the material, the backing material, just off the left-hand side. And then we're going to fold it on that halfway mark line we just made. And give it a good tight fold. I hope you're seeing that okay. Like that. Now what lines this up is, and why you need to cut this notch out, is if you lay this in here right now so that it's right up against that molding strip and then just put it right in the corner, then you'll be completely lined up. Make sure you got that right into the crotch there. And then smooth out your wrinkles, which I'm not doing a very good job of right now, but it's just takes a little time, which we don't have right now. And then punch that in with your popsicle stick. Then take the other half of the backing strip and peel it off. And you might want to hold that so it doesn't just jump down there and grab something and make it hard for you to get it in there. Okay, then push down right into the center of the crotch and get that part in first, and then smooth it out and get your wrinkles out, and that looks real nice. That worked out real good. And then take your popsicle stick, get her on down in there, smooth everything out, and then on this top part of the gusset, you don't want to push it and stretch it. So pretty much kind of from the top, the pressure, just push pressure down on that. A little bit out, but down and out. And then you can smooth out the wrinkles as you go along. But as you can see, that covers that nicely and makes a nice gusset. Now let's move over here real quickly while we're on this, and we'll do this oblique angle on the other side where the other gusset goes. And again, even though it's an oblique angle, just split the difference. There you go. Roll that over. And then use the tongue depressor to get it down in there nice. Put some pressure on it. Then on this side, just continue with the same process. Rolling it over. And then here we're up against one of those spots where there are ridges that I'll show you how to take care of in a later installment. But just in case you don't want to watch the later installment, use the X-Acto knife, cut on each side of each ridge, and then in your kit you will also have a little pencil-shaped object that I give you, and you can work that in there and get it real nice. Okay, now the small gusset, that's this little guy right here. So we'll peel this off, and actually I'm going to use a technique I haven't used before on this one, because I was just thinking of it the other night, and I think it might be an easier way to go. This one is not as tricky, hopefully. And we will just place that rounded head right as we did on this one, only in the reverse. We'll put it on first, and that'll protect that place where the cut comes up near the top. Now here's where we'll see if this works or not. Shove that down, and then around this side, shove that down. Yeah, that works good. So that's how you do the gusset on the oblique angle. Now, if you want to tune out right now, you've got the basics on how to do the install of this cover. I will do a continuation, but it's basically the same principles of relief cutting and being sure that you've got that alignment when you lined up the horn. So if you want to take over on your own now, you'll be in good shape. You may have some places out here on the intake end where you'll need to do some trimming, with your X-Acto knife, but just basically run those down and you can take care of it from there. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll put up another installment for the fine details. This stuff, if you're in a real cold environment, will love you to put a little heat on it and a little pressure, 200 degrees, and some pressure. If you're in a cold climate, the adhesive can get funny, but this stuff really sticks really well, so you should be really good. The most important thing is to use that acetone, and ever since we've been using the acetone, there's been no problem. So, thank you very much for watching.